Okay, now there should be sound. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. All right, well, I hope everyone's doing great. Hope everyone enjoyed a long weekend. And thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I've got my pizza here, ready to be consumed. And I also have a carbonated beverage of the sparkling kind. And thank you, Jason. Yes, I just got a haircut. This is so this pizza, I ate it yesterday with my family for my birthday, but this is literally the first pizza I've had in 3 months now, and I was craving pizza like so hard. So I'm gonna take a bite right now. I mean, I've already had the pizza yesterday, but still, it's pizza. You can never go wrong. I got pocket napkin. Hopefully other people out there are eating pizza too. Yeah, 3 months without pizza. Ellie's running around at my feet. Sometimes I would be talking with my friends, and they'd be talking about how they were getting a pizza, and I would just get so jealous, incredibly jealous. Noel, $2 for pizza fund contributions. Thank you so much. That will definitely go towards a pizza, possibly in a post-hike meal. Hold on one second. Okay. Robby is here too. So first things first, I wanted to talk about these things here. So these are not new merch yet, but these were sent to us by Scott Neverdesky. And they're pretty cool. So you'll definitely see us sporting these in a new video eventually. And he also sent over a letter. I have to assume it's Scott Neverdesky. I didn't really look at the package, but the name here looks like Scott Neverdesky. We've got Ravenasian, $2.22. Happy birthday, Brian. You're looking fresh, dude. Thank you so much, man. You're looking fresh too. All right, so Scott says, AA crew, now that you guys have shirts, thought it was about time Thomas sported an AA hat. As you guys know, Thomas likes to wear his OU hats or his Michigan hats. So feel free. Well, I know most of you don't wear hats, but I had to buy it in bulk, so everyone gets a hat. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why most of us don't wear hats. I don't know, Robby, if you're still in the chat, if there's a reason why you don't normally wear a hat, maybe you can tell us. But during tick season, too, especially, wearing a hat's probably pretty useful. He said, so everyone gets a hat. Feel free to give them to someone who won't mind sporting the brand. Well, I think we're all going to be wearing these. So yeah, I only have 2 here, but he did give us 4. 2 tan and 2 black. And of course, Thomas claimed a tan one. And he says, thank you for all you guys do to keep people sane during these insane times. That is very true. So, very cool. Thank you so much, Scott. And hopefully we'll get something like that too eventually. So yeah. Let me take another bite here, because you gotta eat that pizza while it's hot. But yeah, the Will Rogers is saying AA patches. Are you asking if we have patches? because I can answer that right now. Whoops. So we don't have patches like available to just purchase on the store, but we did do patches as like a promo one time. So we do have some leftovers. And we'll probably have to figure out something to do with this. I think last time we gave away some at a meetup. But I'm not sure if the store that we're using for our t-shirts does patches. So I don't know how easy it is to like set something up so people can just buy the patches. Robbie, I probably missed it, but what type of pizza did you get? I've got sausage and cheese with a hand-tossed crust. Jim69 says it's his birthday as well. Happy birthday, Jim. Well, if you guys really like the patches, I know it's been a long time since we did patches, or at least this design. This was the first design we had, and then we had another patch design that was kind of like a shield shape, and it was a bit more colorful. But if you guys like the patches, we'll try and figure something out to do so we can get some more patches out to you guys, because I know we've got a lot of new viewers, a lot of new people subscribed, so I'm sure we need to get more patches out there. But yeah, so not much going on tonight. You know, I just figured get online, hang out with you guys, have some pizza, chat. I did suggest playing video games. If Robbie and Andrew and some of the other guys get on, we might be able to hop on a chat and play a few games. And then also, I thought I'd play another video game actually that I've downloaded. I've had this game for probably over a year now, but it's Horizon Zero Dawn, and I've always wanted to play it, and I've heard good things about it, but I just never got around to playing it. I just never sat down to play it. Aaron Jones says he's got his AA patch on his 58-liter backpack. So my last backpack, I tried putting the patch on it, but I think the material, the waterproof material of the backpack made it really difficult to iron on the patch. So it didn't really stay on very well. If I did it again, I'd probably have to like sew it on or something, or pin it on. I'm not really sure how I'd attach it. Mickey McEndry, happy birthday, Brian. Wish I could have made you a video back. Oh, it's no problem. We got our own videos all over the place. So, but thank you so much for the birthday wishes. Andrew Reed, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. C. Griggs says, Brian, you to get a hold of me. I assume you mean I need to get a hold of you? The Will Rogers, gotta have a crappier backpack. Cindy Adams says, do you all have any upcoming camping trips planned? So we're trying to plan something. We're not 100% sure what the plan is. We were either thinking about doing 3 simultaneous solo hikes, like just a quick overnight solo hike, and then we could put all of our trips together in one video, which would be interesting just to see each person's experience. Or we might actually get together and do a little social distancing while we're social distancing. We're not 100% sure yet. Aaron Jones says, I had to sew mine on. And then Jim69 says Velcro. Yeah, Velcro makes sense too. Britty Lou says, always sew on, iron-ons never last. That's the kind of the kind of what I gathered too. Just because, you know, as you go through washing it probably would fall off eventually. My ancient Jansport D3 needs a vintage first edition AA patch. That's right. These are vintage. These are first edition vintage patches now. Charlie says, aren't you guys afraid of Lyme disease? Afraid? I mean, not afraid, but we are very aware of it and take precautions to, you know, prevent ticks from being on us and things like that. So we'll use bug spray when necessary. We'll do tick checks in the middle of the trip, and you know, we'll do things like tuck our pants into our socks, just try to minimize ticks from getting anywhere. Sal Delicio says, after all these Zoom meetings, it's nice to finally not see my own face in the corner of the screen. You know, one thing I like about the meetings that I have to be in is I don't have to use my camera. Although now that I'm presentable, I could use my camera, but my laptop sits off to the side, and I don't plug in my personal webcam to it, so they would just see a profile like this. Hope when Jungle D Backpacking Wanderer says, hope when you guys hike the John Muir Trail I get an invite. Well, we will definitely keep that in mind. I don't know when we're gonna hike the John Muir Trail. That'd be pretty cool to do that, though. Hey, it's Danny Scambry. Thanks for the birthday wishes, man. I love you too. So, you know what? A lot of people are going on about these patches, and maybe, you know, we'll bring it up with the other guys. We'll talk about getting a restock. Well, we'll hang on to these as vintage first edition patches, and we'll find a way to somehow give these away. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got 20 patches exactly. So maybe we can do like some sort of fun giveaway at some point. And then maybe me and we'll work with Andrew and like come up with a new designed patch. And do another patch promotion or something like that. I think that'd be kind of fun. All right, let's see. My boyfriend and I went on our first hiking/camping trip this weekend in PA. You guys definitely inspired that. Thanks. Happy birthday, Jane Gibson. That is awesome. Where'd you guys go camping? I know there's a lot of good places in Pennsylvania. Who's older, you or Andrew? I am older. I'm the older of us two. Okay, I'm going to try and say this. Hau'oli la hanau, Brian. Hawaiian birthday wishes. Yes, I'd love to see you guys on another Sierra's trip, please. I would definitely love to go out to the West again. I mean, Thomas, you know, goes on and on about it. It's very beautiful out there, and there's definitely a lot of stuff that we haven't seen or haven't done yet. So there's plenty to do out there. I was thinking actually about maybe going back to Grayson Highlands. I would try to film it. I need gear. I need the camera gear from the other guys to film it, but I think going back there would be a lot of fun. Plus, it's an awesome place to go. Jane Gibson says, we went to Cherry Ridge near the Poconos in PA. Hiked trails at Lackawanna State Park and Prompton Park. Planning our next trip next weekend. That's super awesome. And those names I only know because of, like, Poconos and Lackawanna. I only know that because of The Office. Do you guys enter into the Wonderland or Enchantments lotteries for hiking in Washington? I don't know what that is, so I would assume no. Getting a message. Oh, Andrew's free. So, let me see if the guys want to do something. Anyways, so Rosie D says, hello from the UK. Happy birthday, Brian. You're looking well. Hope you've had a good day so far. I have had a good day. I took a day off of work so I can have an extra long weekend and just enjoy my birthday week and just relax. It's been nice. It's been really hot lately, though. Obligatory come hike in Oregon comment. That's true. I've actually wanted to go to Oregon and hike. The lotteries are for some of the best backpacking in Washington State, but only have drawings annually. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know about that, but it's good to know if we eventually plan a trip to Washington. Jack H says, what figures do you have in the back of your room? I have, they're mostly amiibos, and then I have some, so most of them are amiibos, and then the second most are like collector edition, like video game collector edition statues, and then there's like a couple purchased ones. That big link you see in the background. Let's see if I can point to it. Right here. That one, that link right there, that was a statue that I purchased. That's a Master Sword from the Breath of the Wild Master Edition or whatever. And then on my wall, I've got a lot of the Club Nintendo posters. Actually, I loosened up the cables on my webcam so you can see these things. So those are, right here is the Smash Bros. Ultimate line of amiibos. I'm trying to manipulate this camera. There's some Zelda posters. There's some more Zelda posters. So, yeah. Hopefully that didn't make anybody dizzy. Scott Neverdesky says, picked out your solo hike yet? So, if we do like an overnight solo hike, I'm not 100% sure where I'd go. I'd have to do a little research to think about where I want to go. But there's actually a metro park that has a couple of camping sites, and it's not like a huge loop. It's like a 4-mile loop, but I think it'd be great for a little quick overnight, and I could bring some more fun and interesting things to cook, like steak and potatoes. I kind of want to do that. Let's see, gotta catch up here. Oh, Scott, since you just joined, I don't know if you saw, but I showed off the hats that you guys sent us, so thank you so much for that, Scott. Hello from Nepal. Do you guys plan hiking / mountaineering in the Himalayas? I don't know. I can't say for sure because that's a pretty big task. That would require a lot of planning. I know the guys aren't, well, except for Thomas, I know the guys aren't huge on mountain climbing and mountaineering, so I don't really know about that. But I won't rule anything out. You guys should hike out west more. I agree. Previously, when Thomas lived out there, we tried to get out there from time to time because obviously we could stay at his place or whatever. Nowadays, it's more of a time thing. It's just planning and time. We got to schedule everything and make sure everything's, planned out. But I definitely would see us going to some of the national parks again out west. Ryan Nichols says, good day, mate. Quick question. Have you boys tried a down quilt on the trails over traditional sleeping bags? No. So our sleeping bags are made of down, but I haven't tried a quilt. I assume you're talking about like a quilt with a tent. I don't want to like overload myself with too much gear. I'm not really sure what exactly the benefit of a quilt would be over a sleeping bag, but if it's like in terms of, using a quilt in warmer weather is better, I typically it doesn't bother me too much. If it's warmer weather, I'll just like unzip my sleeping bag and let it ventilate. It's never too bad. The only time when it's like really bad is if it's really hot and sweaty and humid. But in that case, I don't think it matters what you would be sleeping in. You'd be uncomfortable. Lauren Bushy says it's her birthday too. So happy birthday, Lauren. Free Clarence says coming to Allegheny Forest soon. So we've been there twice now. I don't know if Minister Creek counts as like Allegheny, but in terms of going back, I would definitely be down to go back to Allegheny. I loved our trip on the Rimrock Trail. That would be another place that I would go solo, probably. That and Grayson. They're not too far, and they're great places to hike. Barb says, have you ever weighed your packs to see how much you carry? I've weighed my packs, and I'm sure the guys have too. I think we usually average around like 33, 30 on the low end if we're packing light, and then 35 on the heavy end. But usually we waver in between there. And I've found that that's a perfectly comfortable weight for me to carry. I very rarely find myself bothered by, you know, my shoulders or my feet being bothered by the weight anymore. So I think I found a nice balance. Aaron Jones, Twin Creek. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. Brian, Jason says hi and happy birthday. He's watching with me. They went to hike part of the North Country Trail in Western PA. Oh, okay, sweet. Hopefully they're having fun. Okay, someone's pinging me again. Let's see what's going on. All right, well, we're trying to figure out if the other guys will want to jump on a chat and jump on a call, and we'll play something for you guys. I bought one of the scales you weigh stuff by picking it up and found out my pack was 6 pounds empty. Oh, okay. So I ordered a new one the next day. Yeah, that's what Robby said. He said his was 6 pounds empty. I'm sure mine's probably around the same. Maybe. Mine seems like it might be a slightly lighter material. But like I said, I've found a pretty good balance on the weight, in terms of, you know, even when I'm not trying too hard to save weight on food and stuff like that. But you know what? Maybe in the future, eventually I will try some things like trying to lighten, you know, I don't even really know. I could always invest in a lighter sleeping bag for warmer weather. It just feels like an unnecessary purchase as of right now, because it really isn't a huge issue for me. Sanwar says, happy birthday, Brian. How is work going? Work's going pretty good. Michael Pay says, who's your Smash main? I think Zelda would be considered my main, and I second main DDD and Samus, and I third main Robin, and I've been trying to learn Cloud. He's fun. I like playing a lot of different characters. Ryan Nichols says, oh wait, no, did I read that? Cheers, mate. What about a video of doing a backpack gear breakdown, essentials on the trip and the way it's packed into the bag, tips and tricks, etc. You know, we've talked about doing stuff like this, and I think one of the reasons why we haven't done something like that is that we just still don't feel like I feel like we don't feel good enough ourselves to really just be giving people advice like that. But you know, thinking about it, and you know, the way we started camping and how little we knew, it's possible that, you know, the video would still be good, because there's probably people out there who are just completely clueless about, you know, what they need. I mean, it took us how many episodes before we were like, yeah, we need to bring raincoats. So I mean, it could be something that we do eventually. I know that the first time we talked about, like, well, I don't know. It's just that when we pack things into our bag, we just do it the way that we're comfortable with. So I can't say for sure if the way we're doing it is the best way. So if we go around telling people, you know, this is the way to do it, you know, we could be just spreading false information. Has Alaska ever came up in trips you all would want to visit? Oh yeah, definitely. Again, the logistics of it, I don't know what the logistics of it would be, but it would definitely be a cool place to go. Oh, $2 from Haslin Ekasone. Haslin Ekasone. Exoni. I'm not sure how to say that. Thank you so much though. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Cheers to you. I'll get a little. Danny Skembry says, why is Eric's Mesa build so much better than yours? So, okay, I'm going to explain this, and this is an inside joke. If you watched Land Between the Lakes, you saw that we had our post-hike meal with some friends in Evansville, and Eric said that my Mesa build was terrible. So, there's a game called Warframe, and you can play a bunch of different characters, and it's a very involved game where you build your character, and it's like playing any sort of RPG where the more the more time you put into your character and like work things out, the stronger it'll be. So we were playing a character called Mesa, who's like a gunslinger, and he would just always talk about how my Mesa build was terrible just because thought it was funny. And then one night Eric and I were playing video games and he got drunk, and he always is very loose with his money when he's drunk. So one time so I was like, oh, you should join our Patreon. And then he was like, oh yeah, you know what, you guys do good work, I'll do that. And he was joining. I was like, yeah, you should sign up for $100, and he did. And he forgot, or he never bothered to change it for like 3 months, or for 3 episodes. And I was like, well, you get a shout out, man. You can say whatever you want in that shout out. You can even say that my Mesa build is terrible. And every single time he never bothered to give me a shout out. So in the Land Between the Lakes, he finally got his shout out. There's a lot of comments here. Let me catch up here. For everybody joining, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I wish I could read all these comments out loud. Ernesto says, happy birthday, Brian. Greetings from Davao City, Philippines. I really enjoyed watching your trip, especially if your team is complete in attendance with Andrew, Robby, and Thomas. More power. Yeah, I've always told people that I think one of the things about our videos that I think appeal to people is kind of like the way all 4 of us, our chemistry kind of works. I mean, we've known each other for almost our entire life, so we're all very comfortable around each other, and we all act incredibly, we act natural around each other. There's no like fake personality in front of the camera. Oh, bees and bikinis. Here's the pizza. I've been talking so much I haven't had a chance to eat, so let's get a bite in. Delicious. Mickey McKendry says, Jason asks if you'd ever do a logistics video of planning out areas and which trails. Basically, oh, okay. I suppose we could do something. I think it'd be more, maybe we could do it like sort of like a live stream, just because I think trying to make a video like that look good would be kind of like, it wouldn't be worth it. Like, I think the feeling of the video would be lost, right? So I think maybe if we did a live stream sometimes, that would be fun. I know a lot of the times, sometimes it's just involved, all it involves is us sitting down and being like, okay, where are we going? We start just looking up trails, checking the weather, planning out things, and then we're just like, okay, we're good. But a lot of it has to do with just tracking the weather as it gets closer to the day, because obviously we try to avoid the rain, but that doesn't always work. KJA says not being prepared is part of the fun. Sometimes. Actually, I don't know if this was ever, if we ever talked about this. Excuse me. But on our first official backpacking trip, which was Shenandoah, a long time ago, not the Shenandoah episode. Our parents dropped us off at the trailhead, and we just forgot to discuss with them what time they should be there to pick us up. Like, we had already talked about how many nights we were going to stay, so we knew what day, but we didn't talk about what time. And our phones didn't work, obviously. And when we got out of the trailhead, when we came out of the trailhead at the end, our phone still didn't work. So we actually ended up hiking further up the road to try and get closer to the cell tower so that our cell phone signal would work. It was kind of crazy. Trying to catch up here. AJ Blakeman says, ooh, we also had pizza tonight. Anybody in the Northern Virginia area should check out Mod Pizza if you haven't already. Jay Huang says, happy birthday, Bryan. $100 big one from your uncle. Thank you so much. I didn't know you had a YouTube account. All right, we got $2 from Xingqian. Says, happy birthday, Bryan. I hope you have a great day. I am having a great day, and I think it will continue to be great. Thank you so much. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys have noticed that especially during quarantine, we've been trying to do more live streams. But I think previously, before all of that, we kind of strayed away from the live streams just because we thought, we didn't want to flood our channel, so to speak, with extra videos. But now that we've done it more, I think it'll probably become more common because, obviously interacting with everyone here is awesome and it's a lot of fun. And I think you guys hopefully enjoy this too. I think we just thought we were running out of ideas to live stream, at least. What's in the Yeti? Oh, I thought you were talking about my microphone, my Blue Yeti microphone. This is just sparkling water with it's like Costco brand LaCroix, but I put a packet of like electrolyte mix so that it gives it a little more flavor. And it hydrates me too. Anna Melissa says, I got carne asada instead of pizza. That sounds good. I can't wait to eat some street tacos again. Barb R says, this is the most I think I've heard you talk without Robby and Andrew around. Yeah. I mean, I always talk a lot during my live streams, but in the videos, unless you're talking about Picture Rocks, like the Picture Rocks episode, I would say I don't talk as much. I usually keep my thoughts to myself. I don't feel like I always have a lot of profound stuff to say. Plus, I just don't want to. Sometimes when we're filming, I don't want to feel like something I say is forced. So that's why typically during like the group scenes, I may speak up more often. But when we're hiking and we're just walking, and Robby points the camera at me, I'll say what's on my mind, but I may not say too much. Michael Pay says, has your daily viewership increased during lockdown? Yeah, our daily viewership has increased. I don't know if it's specifically because of lockdown, but we've been getting a lot of videos showing up in the algorithm as far as I can tell, like Hawaii. Some of the Japan vlogs that Robby recently did have been getting a lot of bumps. I haven't looked at them lately, but we got some good bumps there. I mean, that's why our subscribers have been growing really fast lately. Have you gotten that itch that says you have to go out into nature and camp? Yes and no, sort of. Like, I'm perfectly comfortable at home. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm comfortable at home. But one time I actually went out to drive to meet a friend, and when I was driving, I just had this weird sensation come over me, and I was like, wow, it feels good to be out here driving. And I think that basically turned into, I really would like to get out and hike. I think I would just need to get to the place where I'd want to hike and I'd be totally down. Like, I'd be totally into it. So Ryan Nichols says, has there been any weird or scary experiences on your trips? Weird things in the sky or unexplained noises? So there's obviously that one in our Allegheny episode where we were kind of wandering in the dark and we came across this weird like pile of sticks, and the whole situation just had this creepy vibe to it. But there's been times where I've woken up, in part due to like dreams. Okay, well there's two times I remember. I think one was in Shenandoah. I was sleeping in my tent and my shoulder was like right up against the corner of my tent, or the edge of my tent. And I woke up because I thought I could have sworn something like hit the corner of my tent and made me like made my shoulder move. It could have been completely involuntary just on my part, and that's my brain thought it was an animal, but I swore it was like there was an animal out there like poking their head at our tent. And then there was another time when I can't remember exactly which episode it was, but I was in my hammock and I was kind of far from the other guys, like on the opposite side. And that night it wasn't like storming or anything, but I think the wind was blowing somewhat aggressively. Excuse me. And it like was howling. So when I was sleeping, I had dreams about wolves. And then in that dream, I had a dream that a wolf was coming up and just biting right into my hammock. So I woke up and I like yelled really loudly. And Andrew and Robby, you could hear them on the other side of the campsite go, "Are you okay?" And obviously I was, but it was really weird. Like, it's just so weird how the brain can make things seem so real, even if you've never experienced it in your life. As an IT professional, what would you choose for a new CPU? Ryzen or Intel 10th gen? I like Intel. I've stuck with Intel for a long time. I wouldn't be able to give you my solid opinion on either of those two because I just haven't researched them. But like I said, I've stuck with Ryzen for several generations now. Or I mean, sorry, I've stuck with Intel for several generations now. Kevin Fong says, can you share what the next video coming up on the AA channel? The next video coming up probably is going to be our quote-unquote documentary / like behind-the-scenes look at how our channel started and everything like that. I would assume that's going to be what's coming next. Danny Scambry says, can we start a Subaru Outback gang? Yeah, man. Subaru Outbacks unite. So if anybody didn't know, Danny Scambry is my pseudo-cousin. Well, I guess he's my cousin. And he recently got a Subaru Outback. And if you're not new to the channel, you know that we drive Subaru Outbacks a lot. Free Clarence says, sorry if you saw, I meant I am doing weekly hike videos to off-trail way out rocks in Allegheny National Forest. That's super cool, man. Like I said, I really want to go back to Allegheny, and I'm sure there's a lot of other good trails out there that I haven't checked out yet. Andrea M, happy birthday, Brian. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining the stream. Hope everyone is doing great so far. And I hope this has been fairly interesting, or at least entertaining to watch. All right, who else we got here? What else we got here? Do you believe in Bigfoot, aliens, or other folktales? I haven't really given that thought, but I would say, okay, let me put it this way. I'm in the camp of I don't believe them until there's solid evidence of them. So unless you can literally show me a Bigfoot with my own two eyes, you know, I will be skeptical. And until I meet aliens personally, or at least there's enough, you know, personal good evidence of aliens and Bigfoot, then I really can't believe it. But okay, aliens. I believe that there is life out there because it's the universe. It's gigantic. There is a possibility of there being life out there. Do I believe in aliens having come to our planet? No, not yet. Barb R says, I've learned a lot from your adventures. I got a new ferro rod and I'm going to try this year and working on making knots for my hammock from Andrew's knot video. That's super awesome. I really like using a ferro rod, and I would use it more if Andrew wasn't so, controlling about who starts the fire. $5 from Jason Bourgeois. Thank you so much, Jason, for not having any broccoli on that pizza. Yeah, I saw that comment actually at the beginning of the chat where you're talking about the barbecue veggie pizza. And I laughed really hard because me and my friends, we still joke about it. We still joke about that terrible pizza that Andrew ordered. Even when I was talking to my family saying we should get some pizza, my mom was like, "Oh, well, what pizza should we get?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna let Andrew order." KJA says, "Any dangerous animal encounters?" Me personally, no. I know Andrew has seen a couple bears, and they also ran into a copperhead in Red River Gorge. But for me personally, no, I have not had any dangerous animal encounters. Rachel Ellison says, you look like you've been losing weight. Quarantine been treating you well? I have lost weight, and I guess it is due to quarantine. I wouldn't call it treating me well because, it's quarantine, but due to the, just the nature of things, I've been less inclined to go to the grocery store. So I go there. Well, when it first started, I just kind of, I went shopping like several days before the quote unquote quarantine happened. So this was before everyone started buying everything. Cause I was like, okay, I know this is going to happen. So I went to the store and I picked up a lot of, just basic necessity type things like, some meat and vegetables and fruits. And I bought all that stuff. And then I lived off that stuff for a couple weeks. And in that couple of weeks, I didn't have any snacks and I didn't want to go to the store buy more. So eventually my body kind of adjusted to not eating snacks. So I've been able to resist the temptation. Let's see. Oh, it looks like the chat skipped a little bit here. So another $5 from Aaron Jones. Here's for the birthday beer. It's not beer, it's sparkling water, but it's fizzy. All right, let's catch up on some of these. Oh wait. Okay, the chat like jumps around when I scroll, so sometimes I lose track of where I am. Have you ever been in a situation where you cannot set up your hammock? Actually, yes. In Yellowstone. So in Yellowstone, you'll notice that the first night I do use my hammock, but on the second night I did not use my hammock. Actually, I don't know if that was explicitly because I couldn't set it up, but the reasoning, at least, was one of the reasons was because that the first night I was cold in my hammock because I don't know why I was so cold. I had an underquilt. I was suspicious that maybe I just hadn't set it up properly, so the underquilt wasn't insulating me very well. But basically, the second night I was like, you know what? I'd rather just sleep on the ground in a tent rather than risk another night in being cold in the hammock. But I can't specifically remember if there's this situation where I couldn't set up my hammock. If there wasn't, I've pretty much made do. I've found some trees that were maybe a little further off. But I always try to do a little bit of research too about the locations we hike at to make sure that, the campsites have enough trees and stuff, or at least the location itself, is hammock friendly. I've always thought about, what I would do though if I couldn't set up my hammock, and I'd probably just, I don't know, honestly. Rachel says, Brian, I wish you could sing me to sleep every night with your beautiful guitar. Oh, you know, that's another thing too. I have been playing more guitar in quarantine because since I'm working from home, I just have my guitar next to me, so sometimes I get bored and I pick it up and I just start playing it. Um, Typically when I get home from like work, I'm just so exhausted. I don't really feel like doing anything else. Thomas Wen says, Brian, how tall are you and who's the tallest? I'm 5'10" and the tallest is Robby. Well, is Thomas taller? I don't know. Thomas might be a little taller. Jason says, Andrew's in charge of starting fires, not ordering pizza. That's fine. You know, yeah. He can start all the fires he wants. Like, I'm not going to take that away from him. If he wants to do that, that's cool with me. I know that if I needed to start a fire, I could probably manage it. Not as fast and not as elegantly, maybe, as him, but I'd be able to do it. Plus, you know, I'm not stubborn. I'm not so stubborn as to not use, like, a lighter or some tinder, you know, like some dryer lint or something. Because, you know, sometimes you just want to get that fire started. Financial Charles says, what is your all-time favorite food? That's really tough. I really don't know. Actually, I don't know if I would say pizza is my all-time favorite. Oh, my mom makes egg rolls, delicious egg rolls, and I think those would be my favorite. They're not like the kinds you would get at like a, you know, Chinese takeout or anything like that, or even the ones you'd probably get in a nice restaurant. These are very unique, and they have her own twist on the recipe. Ryan Green says, Brian, happy birthday. Hope you've had a great day so far. Are you looking forward to anything in particular this summer? I'm looking forward for quarantine ending, so to speak. I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about it too much. I would like to get out and do more hikes, but I need to think about where I want to go. I think I would probably go back up to the UP. If Uptrail's in the chat, shout out to Uptrail. But I'm thinking going back up to the UP in Michigan and doing like maybe the Porcupine Mountains would be fun. So Ryan Nichols also asks, do you guys hike and camp near bears? Living in Australia, I can't fathom being comfortable knowing there's black bears or even grizzlies around. We've hiked and camped in bear country plenty of times. I have not personally seen a bear, nor have I even seen evidence of a bear, I guess, like having been in our camp. But, you know, you take the precautions and you'll generally be safe. But there's always, you know, that little nagging feeling in the back. It's always a little uncomfortable when you're in bear country because you have to take those extra steps to, you know, hang your pack or make sure you're not keeping scented things in your backpack. Oh, we got 199 from Free Clarence. Thank you so much for highlighting my hometown in ANF. No problem, man. Which one was your hometown? Was it where we stopped to eat afterwards? I'm trying to remember. Terry Williamson says, happy birthday, Brian. UK viewer here, so gotta go to bed. Have a good stream, man. Hey, thank you so much, man. And yeah, sorry about the timing. I don't know what time it is over there, but yeah, thanks for stopping in at the very least. Barb R says, yesterday I went back and watched the 2 older episodes at Dolly Sods. I just about died laughing at the second episode where y'all were jumping in the cold water. So she's referring to our Dolly Sods winter episode. And we came across the stream that we had to cross. And oh my god, that water was so cold. But Andrew and Robby had been watching... oh man, I can't remember the channel name right now. Kent, I think his name is. He talked about, like, you know, cold showers and things like that and how it's like rejuvenating for the body. So they dunked themselves in the water and they were Were they naked? Yeah, they were naked or something. I don't remember, but it was ridiculous. And I just dunked my head in, but that was enough, man. Just dunking my head in, you could tell how cold it was. And then when we actually walked across, we took off our boots and our socks and we walked across, and my feet were numb instantly by the time I got across. S. Xiang says, last time you played volleyball. Unfortunately, the last time I played volleyball was winter. Like last year in the winter, because we had our fall season, which was indoor volleyball. And you know what? Volleyball probably would be starting up pretty soon again, but obviously it's not going to happen right now. That's so weird. I actually totally forgot that volleyball existed. It was like one of the things I looked forward to most on Wednesdays was going to volleyball after work. Hoon Kim says, how old are you guys? Well, I am turning 35. Robby is like almost a year older than me, but not. And my brother is 6 years younger than me. And Thomas is a baby. Have you been able to see Nicole at all during quarantine? I haven't. Obviously she's been very busy. And I don't know, it's just life's been crazy. So Jord Jongarius says, Brian, happy birthday. Hope you can celebrate your birthday with your friends and family as soon as everything has calmed down. Thank you so much, man. I did have dinner with my family yesterday. I think we were all convinced that none of us had COVID, so. G says, what Ninja Turtle are you? Andrew said you'd know. LOL. I'm Michelangelo. Oh, well, okay. Let me take that back. Back in the day, I would have said I'm Michelangelo because I thought Michelangelo was the coolest. And I still think Michelangelo is the coolest. But obviously, I'd be Donatello. And I actually like Donatello, too. We definitely talked about this if we were the 4 Ninja Turtles. I'd be Donatello. Andrew would be I guess Andrew would kind of be Leonardo, Robby would be Michelangelo, and Thomas would be Raphael. Maybe, I don't know. Is the next full episode with everyone going to feature AA masks? We talked about that actually. I'm not sure though. I mean, it's possible. Done any hiking in Indiana? Yeah, so in our season 1, we actually went to Morgan Monroe and Hoosier. And we actually went back to Hoosier like maybe 2 years ago now at this point, or 1 year, to do a winter hike in Hoosier. Getting pinged again. Let's see what's going on. All right. Sorry. Let's try and catch up to these with these comments. Okay. Rosie D says it's about 1:20 a.m. here in the UK now. So good night. Well, good night, Rosie. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Have a good night. Hey, can you tell us Robby and Andrew's waist size? I'll send them swim trunks. The whole thing about them not wearing swim trunks is I think either A, they always forget to pack them, or B, they just don't want to spend the extra weight on it, but I don't know. It seems kind of weird. Lindsay Robinson says, I can't wait to get my shirt in the mail. I'm pretty sure I ordered the same design you have on. I've got the Adventure Archives Classic design. Actually, I haven't looked at our Teespring lately. So Vikas Patel just says, just came across your channel and I'm hooked. You guys are motivating me to get out and explore more. Thank you for that. Also, is there a video on Zion or Banff National Parks? We haven't done Banff. We really want to do Banff because we went there once for vacation with our families, and it's awesome. we did sort of do Zion. If you find our road trip episode, the second road trip episode, so the Southwest, I believe, we went through Zion and we stayed one night there. Me and Andrew hiked the Narrows at Zion, and then Robby and Thomas did Angel's Landing. Alpha Kenny Body, I am 35. Actually, my birthday's technically tomorrow, but I will be 35. I'm missing some of these comments, I think. Uptrail 71 says, I never watched the Ninja Turtles. Man, you're missing out, man. You at least gotta watch the original 1990s movie, Ninja Turtles. That's classic. Thomas would either be Kino or Casey Jones. I don't remember who Kino is. Do we smoke weed on backpacking trips? No, we don't, just because, we're filming ourselves, so it's not good to film yourself doing that, especially if you're in an area that prohibits it. My favorite Thomas moment was Yosemite when he was talking to the squirrel, LOL. Doesn't look like you want to sell me a watch. So DCTA51 says, great channel. What's the weirdest or creepiest things you've encountered while hiking? So I actually kind of answered this earlier, but if you watch our Allegheny video, the Rimrock Trail one, we come across like some weird stuff at night when we were hiking. We were trying to like take a shortcut to get to the trail, and we come across like these weird pile of sticks that kind of just creeped us out. I would say that's probably the creepiest thing we've encountered. Mimi says, can you guys do a gear video? So we did do a gear video. It's definitely outdated at this point. I think it would be really easiest for us to do another one. So I could see us doing another one at some point. I suggested that we do like a yearly gear video, or at least a gear video whenever we make significant upgrades to our stuff. Because I know people do like that stuff, and I think it is a good way to kind of like for new people to get a base reference on gear and things like that. Eric BK Locke says, hi from Japan. Any plans to have a trip here again? Definitely. I don't know when, but we will definitely go back to Japan. I mean, we love it there. Robby loves it there, and they obviously our videos get a lot of views when they go to Japan. Esther Sugai, $5 for sausage pizza. That's right. I'm gonna start my second piece here. Kino is the Asian guy in Turtles 2. Oh, I kind of remember that, but Turtles 2 is not in my memory as clearly as Turtles 1. Yeet Yeet Boy says, are you ceiling or floor gang? I'm not sure what that means. Maybe you have to explain it a little more to me. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining the stream. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes too. Leah Ellison says you could call it the yearly gear. I kind of like that. Yearly. All right. Oh, I got your name right? Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I try my best to pronounce those names, but even sometimes, it's a little tough. Brian, I don't think you guys should worry too much about holding yourselves up as experts, and this is how you should pack your gear, / this is the gear you should use. Most folks understand the fun of backpacking is choosing and using your own gear, but it's good to see how others do it. That's true. I guess if we did a video like that, we wouldn't phrase it, we wouldn't phrase it as like, this is what you need, but more so, this is how we do things. With kind of like maybe a disclaimer saying, we're not experts. Everyone learns from experience, so. Are you guys gonna do a meetup after quarantine? I mean, that's a good idea. It would be fun to do another meetup because the first one was a lot of fun. And honestly, there's really no reason why we wouldn't be able to do it. It's not that hard to orchestrate, so. That's something that we'll put in the books to plan. Dan Vulcans 199 more pizza. Happy birthday again, man. Thank you so much, Dan. Dosen Kais says, not only Japan, you guys have to come back to Germany. Yeah, Germany would be a lot of fun. I mean, there's a lot of places in Europe that I'd love to go back to. Sorry, I don't know if I pizza came over my brain. There's a lot of places in Europe that we'd still like to visit. I mean, the only place we did was Germany. There's obviously a lot of other countries there too. Thomas Wen says, who smells the worst after a backcountry trip? Probably Robby. I don't go out of my way to try and smell everybody. Trimmer and Co. coming in late. Happy birthday, Brian. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for joining the stream. What does Thomas do in post-production? I think, well, so we usually leave a lot of the post-production to Andrew and Robby. When you start throwing more people into editing than that, it can get really confusing, and there can be conflicts of, you know, how they visualize things. Obviously, you know that we tend to write music too, and I know Thomas has once in a while, I think Thomas tried his hand at writing some music in some of the road trip episodes, which was a lot of fun for him. And then I think he also helps Andrew with the narration sometimes. Kevin Fong says, what is your favorite pizza topping? Favorite pizza topping. Is it just like one topping, or is it like my favorite pizza combination of toppings? So if it's my favorite pizza topping, it's probably, if it's like fast food, like a, not fast food, if it's like a chain store pizza, you know, like mediocre quality pizza, probably pepperoni, because you just can't really go wrong with pepperoni. But if it's a good pizza place and they have good sausage, then it's probably sausage. You know, sausage has to be like plentiful and like well spiced. Marie Fisher says, my roommate Tim says happy birthday also. Thank you, Tim. You could also call it our gear this year, the yearly gear video. I like it. Aaron Jones says, when you were in Germany, how much different did the beer taste here in the US? I can't even remember if I drank a beer in Germany. I'm trying to remember if I did. I wasn't a very big beer. I'm not a big beer drinker, and I might have not tried one just because. Well, I don't think I ordered one. I might have tried one, but ordering an entire beer on me would be wasted. I'll tell you that right now. I've never finished an entire beer in my life. But I can tell you that what I did taste there, it's definitely a lot. It's got a lot more body, I would say. I guess that's the only way I could really put it. Renee Lechleiter says, happy birthday, Brian. Love your channel. You've inspired me to get back out into nature. You make me giggle with your antics and camaraderie, plus identification of plants. Thank you. Thanks so much, Renee. I'm glad you're enjoying our channel, and I'm really glad that, you know, our videos provide this outlet for people. I've had some bougie pepperoni with way too much fennel in it. That's true. Yeah, you can go overboard with that. Have you ever had kimchi on pizza? I don't think I have. I'd say the most exotic pizza I've had was, I wouldn't be able to remember what the most exotic pizza I've had was, but one of the best pizzas I had was the one after Picture Rocks well, so after Pictured Rocks, I had the Philly cheesesteak pizza, which was really good. It could have also just been the fact that I had been hiking 42 miles, but it was really good. And then also, I think it was New River Gorge. We went to a pizza place and Andrew got like this shrimp Thai pizza, and that ended up being really, really good. Any sci-fi recommendations? Like TV shows? I mean, I watch. All of us watch Star Trek. I've watched TNG religiously, The Next Generation. I've been watching Deep Space Nine, and I've watched Picard. If if you are open to it, I would say watch The Next Generation. There's something about it that kind of pulls you in, even though it's not like, action and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know. It's just a good TV show. Kevin Fong says, last time someone asked Andrew what question he would ask us. I am copying it and asking you. What do you like to know about us? That's a good question. I'll have to circle back around to that because I need to think about that. Dan Vulcan says, you were sick in Germany, right? You guys were struggling. So yeah, when we got there, Robby got sick like after the first day. And then I got sick. I don't know if it was his sickness, but I got sick like right when the camping trip started. And basically what that resulted in was me feeling terrible during the hike, which was like 92 degrees outside. And because of that, I didn't drink enough water, and I basically got super dehydrated. So when we had Jochen come and pick us up again to take us back, I spent the entire next day in bed just drinking water because I felt so bad. And only towards the end, towards dinner time, I went out for dinner with them, but then I immediately went back and went back into bed because I just had such a pounding headache the whole time. KJA says, who's single? I'm single, and I'm pretty sure Robby is single, and I don't know what Thomas's situation is. From the hikes on your channel, which has been your favorite trail? I really love Pictured Rocks. Pictured Rocks is a place I could go back to again and again and never get old. I would love to go back to Manitou Island. I actually named my island in Animal Crossing Manitou. And Allegheny is always good too. I would like to go back there. Nordhaus was actually pretty cool too, the winter trip. I don't know how it would be during the summer. There's probably going to be a lot of people there. Probably wouldn't be as enjoyable, but it'd still be probably a lot of fun just because the dunes and the beach would be really nice. Worst accident while hiking. Has anyone ever broken a bone? No, I don't think no one's ever broken a bone. And I'm gonna knock on wood right now. I don't think there's been any really bad accidents. Nothing that has really warranted us being like, we need to, leave now, like complete change of plans. So again, knock on wood, hopefully nothing happens. Sublimical says, my daughter wants to know, what is your favorite thing about Andrew? Let's change this into two questions. What's my favorite thing about Andrew, and what thing do I admire most about Andrew? So my favorite thing about Andrew is that he is into a lot of the same things that I'm into. So we've always got along ever since when we were growing up. Like we've never been like butting heads when we were siblings. So for me and him, when we're together, there's no like distance between us. The thing that I admire most about him, I would say, is probably because when he gets really interested in something, he really gets interested in it. And obviously, this through his kung fu. And that's also why he knows so much about plants and stuff, is because he started studying it and just got really into it. Squid Kid says, are you a... Well, he doesn't say this, but I'm asking Squid Kid, are you a Splatoon fan, or is that just a coincidence? Happy birthday. I'm a pretty new sub, but I love watching the vids. They are so inspirational and beautiful. I'm telling all my friends about you, and I'm going to do my small part in sharing this channel. Thanks so much, Squid Kid. I'm really glad that you're enjoying the videos, and I really appreciate the fact that you're sharing this with your friends and family. Rachel Ellison says, I love the AA community. Everyone is so nice. You know, that is something that I've probably said at one point or another, but it needs to be said more often, is that, like, we have a great, like, fan base. There's never really been an unpleasant moment, you know, when we're live streaming or interacting with you guys. It's always just a lot of fun, a lot of good times. You all show many things about hiking, but I don't think I've seen anyone deal with blisters. You get them? I personally have never gotten blisters. I know on Yosemite, Thomas did deal with like a toenail problem. I've heard that if you have loose boots when you're going downhill, you know, your foot slides and the toenail hits the front of the boot, it can bruise it and cause problems. And I'm sure some people have had blister issues. Well, okay, you know what? I take that back. I did have an issue in Pictured Rocks, the 42-mile hike in Pictured Rocks. I can't remember if it was specifically a blister. It might have just been like my foot being super sore, but I did end up wrapping my foot in athletic tape at certain spots to kind of like reduce the pain and stuff like that. Any thoughts of doing some longer hikes? Yosemite, Kings Canyon, I love the videos. Yeah, we definitely would like to do longer hikes. I know we've talked about like the Grand Canyon rim to rim trail. Again, it's I mean, besides the circumstances right now, it's usually just a timing and planning thing. Uptrail 71 says, when we go to Nordhaus Dunes, soon it will be in the middle of the week. A lot less people. Oh yeah, you did message me saying you were going to Nordhaus Dunes. Did I respond back to that? Let me check. No, I didn't. I thought I responded back to you for some reason, Uptrail. But yeah, I wish we could go to Nordhaus Dunes, but it's not happening right now just because of all the things going on right now. If anything, we'd probably be planning something like one of our solo hike videos to do. Emily Meltzer says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love Algonquin Park? 9. Just because I'm a little wary of canoes right now. After Manistee, the Manistee trip has like scarred me when it comes to canoes. But Algonquin's different because it's a big open lake, and yeah, if you capsize, you know, it's a big lake, but there's a lot of people usually around, at least in the earlier parts. And then also, because it's a big lake, you never really have to deal with fast currents or anything. So there's a lot less risk of, you know, losing control of your canoe, I would say. Oh, Emily Meltzer and James Meltzer, are you related? Or is that just a coincidence? Julio Carrillo says, happy birthday, Brian. Question, of the 4 of you, who's the most whiner, or who's the biggest whiner during your hikes? Probably me. But I would say none of us really whine that much. We tend to tough it out. The only times I can really say I've notably whined were Wildcat Hollow. But I think everyone did not really enjoy the weather on that trip. I was just more vocal about it. DCTA 51 says, what's your native fruit on your island? He's talking about Animal Crossing. I've got Pears. All right. I'm gonna scroll a little bit here so I can try and catch up. Kevin Fong says, Brian, do you have a birthday wish? I haven't really given it much thought. I still have a day to think about it. What's your dream hike? That's a tough question because I don't think of places as like I really want to go there. It's more I always think of places as after I've been there. So I can't really say like, oh, I want to go there. I know it's going to be amazing just because there's always a chance it couldn't be. Dan Vulcans, have a good night, man. If I had to choose a place, dream hike, you know, I think I would really like to go to Banff, but to classify it as my dream hike, I don't know. Oh, you know what I would like to do is, I think it's Sweden, or it's either Sweden or Switzerland. They have like a law where you can camp anywhere, almost anywhere. I think it'd be really cool to, I think it'd be really cool to go there and just kind of like, just freely backpack where you want. Just go where the winds take you. Favorite post-hike beer? Like I said earlier, I don't really drink much beer, so I don't drink a post-hike beer. If I had to say what my favorite beer is, it's going to be Sapporo, because that's the only one I could actually enjoy. I had it several times when I was in Japan. It's, I mean, obviously, what I'm about to say is pretty obvious, but it was very good with their like their bar foods, quote unquote, like their yakitori, you know, things like that just go great with Sapporo. Norway has a crazy trail / cabin system. I think I heard about that before. I think someone might have told us about that. Squid Kid says, I've also been playing too much Animal Crossing. Need to get outside more. Since I live in a super small place, we don't have very many restrictions, so I'm free to go on trails and things. Yeah, I mean, it's always good to get outside every so often. I have a garden right now, so I try to get outside to tend that, and then, you know, spend a little time outside to enjoy the weather. Allison James, thank you so much for the birthday wishes. While on a trip, do you ever feel like you haven't eaten enough? When I see you all sharing a meal, sometimes I think I'd still be hungry. Nicole makes some hearty meals though. So about that is, we see ourselves sharing food, but there's also, we usually have our own stuff that we eat off camera because it's usually not something worth filming. It's not like you don't care to see me eat a sandwich, you know. We only film like the interesting things, so when we're cooking something interesting or just having like a group meal. I don't think there's really been a time I specifically thought I haven't eaten enough, but, well, okay, no. When we were in the Smoky Mountains, I had like no energy the second day, and I think that was because of the fact that I didn't pack enough carbs. And then when we were at Grayson Highlands, I was really worried about my stomach being a little upset if I ate too much, so I really cut back on what I ate during that trip. I didn't feel hungry, but I do feel like I had not eaten enough. After the trip, I felt like, you know, I probably could have eaten more. Mimi says, what's a good way to start backpacking? How long would you recommend? I mean, I would recommend just doing one night. It doesn't have to be a super long hike. I would say get used to, I mean, the hiking part's easy, right? All that is walking and carrying something on your back. The part that most people have a problem adjusting to is the sleeping outside at night in a tent, you know, not having a shower, not having a toilet. So I would say get used to that. Like make sure that what you bring with you is good enough for you to feel comfortable when you're actually camping for the night. Sheldon Gervan, thanks for joining the stream, man. No problem. If you were cutting the lawn, you had to cut the lawn, man. Jord says, work starting. Good to see you are doing well. See you in Japan. Thanks, man. Have a good day at work. Thanks for joining the stream, man. Allison James says, what made you choose to hike Mount Kumatori? Were there any other hikes in Japan that you guys considered? So about Mount Kumatori, actually, Robbie's friend, Rob, and Michael, I think they basically planned the trip for us because, you know, they know the place a lot more. So they took care of all the planning for us. We just kind of like, at least me and Andrew, we just said, Robbie, you communicate with them, you let them take care of it. If we went back, I'd like to look for something, a hike that's like in the country, you know, rather than doing a mountain. I think that would be really cool. What country has the nicest girls? I don't know. Sweden? I honestly don't know. So, I don't really know how to say your name correctly, but I mean, I'll just say One Sick says, I'll start by saying that I completely stumbled upon AA when quarantine started. I'll also say that I have no interest in backpacking / camping. Interesting. Well, do you have an interest now? That is the question. He continues and says, but I've surprisingly watched every backpacking trip you guys have done. The production quality and overall feel of the channel is awesome. Thank you so much. And even if you don't have an interest in backpacking and camping after watching our videos, I mean, our goal is to hopefully inspire people to do that. But even if you don't, I think one of the things we aspire to with our videos is to have that feel of our videos where even if you're not interested in it, you still want to watch it because it's just, it pulls you along like that. Ever thought about canoeing down the Northern Forest Canoe Trail or part of it? Let me look that up. Oh, 740 miles. Okay, it's in Canada. Wait, is it in Canada? Oh, it's in New York. I never heard of that. That's pretty cool. We'll have to look into that. I was also shocked to learn that you, Andrew, and Robbie are cousins. It all made sense after realizing that, though. The dynamic between you three is great. Any tips for day hikes in New England? That I can't answer. New England is actually one of the places we have not been to. We've been to New York, like up to New York in the Adirondacks, and that's the furthest we've ever gone there. I would love to do stuff in New England. For some reason, I just feel like there'd be a lot of great hikes out there, but unfortunately, I cannot answer that. Sheldon Gravon says raincoat. Let me scroll here. Are you asking for like a suggestion on raincoats? I don't really know. I've only used like 2 real raincoats and 3. One was like one from Costco. It was actually a good raincoat. It was waterproof. Like it was good waterproofing. I think my only complaint about it was that maybe the hood didn't really come over enough and that it didn't really go long enough. Like it came down to my waist, but I think I would like it maybe a little bit more just to like try and keep more of me dry. I've heard of the brand Frog Togs. I've never actually. I have a hat, or I had a Frog Togs hat, but I've never had like a raincoat made of it. But right now I'm using a North Face coat that I got, which I like. It's insulated though, like it's got insulation, so it's more for cold weather. Like if it's like if we're experiencing a really wet snow or something like that. For hiking the backcountry in Japan, have you guys thought about checking the Kumano Kodo? No. I'll have to check that out. All right. Tourist says we will buy you lots of food and beer in Boston if you come. Oh, well, definitely. We'll come to Boston then. I was actually thinking, oh, okay, you're saying a raincoat for New England. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, actually, in terms of New England, I was thinking it'd be fun to do like a road trip through New England and hike at certain places. Hey, Ashley, thank you so much for joining the stream. Thanks so much for the birthday wishes. Hope you're doing well. And it's your birthday too, right? Because your birthday's on the 26th, if I remember correctly. Or is yours the 29th and Kaylee's was the 26th? I forget. Either way, it's almost your birthday, so happy birthday. Okay, happy birthday on Friday. Any tips for hiking when it's cold? I do have tips, but anything in specific you would like to, like anything in specific about it? Like in terms of what to wear or like things like that, I assume? 30. Yeah, 30, youngin'. One Sick also says, anyways, you should come back to Hawaii soon. Try your hand at the KST Kulau Summit Trail. Although not into camping / backpacking, I do love a great hike, and we have some good ones here on Oahu. We did talk about, you know, if we went back to Hawaii, we'd probably do like Oahu or something like that. Like Kauai was great, but if we're gonna go back to Hawaii, I think it makes more sense to check out a completely different island the second time. What's your all-time favorite post-hike meal? I will watch the episode as I eat dinner. Trying to think. Wow, there's so many to choose from. It's really hard to choose one, and really hard to remember too. I think New River Gorge was a lot of fun. That was where we went to a pizza place. I think it was because the atmosphere of the pizza place was really nice. The weather was really nice, and I think just Nicole was with us, and so like it was just good company and good times. We had like beers and pizzas, and the pizzas were really like interesting, like unique pizzas. Miguel's is always good too. Yeah, the first time we went to Miguel's, at least. Do you guys have a master list of all the places / trails you have as a wish list? It might be cool to have a shared map where people can add suggestions, but that might get overwhelming for you guys. So we do have a list where we put suggestions that people put. We try to put all of them, but you know, obviously we get a lot. We should honestly, I think we should be better about going to places that we say we want to go to. But I think, again, it comes down to partially planning and timing. Like sometimes we just maybe get a little lazy, and sometimes we're like, okay, we don't have enough time. We need to go somewhere that's more reasonable to go to. Like we can't, obviously, like right now, flying to some places is kind of out of the question. And if we drive somewhere that's, you know, over 8 hours away, that's a lot of time you have to allot for, you know. So Jennifer Harrison said, mostly what to wear, how many layers is best, or what kind of coats, boots, gloves, etc. So for me, so this can vary depending on just how you react to cold. Like, this probably wouldn't be good for what Robby wants, because Robby's very prone to cold. And for me, when I hike, I tend to get very warm. But I think the smartest thing to do is to have one good, like, underlayer, so like a down layer that you would wear over something, and then a okay, well, let me just say what I have. So I have a down layer coat that I would wear underneath something, and then I have my raincoat, which is also insulated, that I can wear over it because it's looser. That I would wear if it gets colder than that. And then underneath all that, I'd probably wear like a long sleeve shirt, like some sort of like tight long sleeve shirt. But obviously, I think more than that would be unnecessary unless you're going someplace extremely cold, in which case you'd probably want to refer to someone who's more familiar with that. But for me, like, I get very warm when I hike, so most of the time I'll put on like both layers, at the beginning of a hike, but then once I start getting moving, you'll see me probably like take off the top layer and probably just unzip the under layer too, because you don't want to sweat when you do that. Boots, I would always recommend just getting waterproof boots. I think that's the most important thing, because if it's snowy or something, you don't want your feet getting wet. And then gloves, I tend to opt for so I tend to opt for, like, I think the last time I brought really thick gloves, like skiing gloves, but I only use those if I really need to try and warm my hands up. Like I said earlier, when I hike, I get really warm, so my hands are almost never cold when I'm actually moving. But if you're planning on doing like a winter hike and it's your first time, it's always better to over prepare than under prepare. So, and then you kind of just have to adjust based on your preferences and the way, you feel about it. Planning to have a fan vote for a location again. Oh, I mean, it's definitely always a possibility. I don't think we've discussed it, but, it's not like difficult to set up. I think we would just need to choose the locations. Kevin Misuda says, challenge, rent a house in the North Cascades for a season. All of you move there, vlog the day-to-day, and hike all over the region. That doesn't sound like a challenge. That sounds like a vacation. The ultimate curse, warm when you hike, cold when you stop. So the Will Rogers says base layer, shirt, insulation layer, waterproof layer. Yeah. So, like, basically, having those layers will cover you when you're really cold, will take care of you when you're really cold, and then you just adjust the layers based on, your situation. Like, if you're hanging around a campsite and you're by a fire, you obviously don't need like all the layers. But sometimes it's like really windy and you'll still need to wear all your layers. And like I said, it's always better to over prepare than under prepare. The Will Rogers says, something I learned during the winter is to start your hike cold, otherwise you'll be stripping on the trail. That's true. We always start our hikes wearing like everything we have because we're super cold, and then inevitably we take things off. And I know that when I hike I get really warm, so I really should just start with like one layer or something. Uptrail says, if you ever want to do a fun trip up in the area, the Pictured Rocks boat cruise is nice, and you can still do some backpacking. I think if we do go back to Pictured Rocks when we have time, We'd probably do the boat cruise again. I've actually done it before a long time ago when I was a kid. And I would like to do the kayaking too, actually. Okay. So, it's getting a little late. Numbers are starting to dwindle on the stream. And I've caught up to all the questions. So, I'm going to unofficially end the stream now. But I will stay on. I'm going to play a video game. I'm going to play Horizon Zero Dawn. Because it's the first time I've ever played it. So if you guys want to stick around and hang out with me while I play it, you're more than welcome to. If you guys want to go and do other things on your Monday night, Tuesday night, you can totally do that too. I won't have my feelings hurt. Ashley, I totally agree. We should catch up sometime soon. So yeah, have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for hanging out and chatting on my birthday, and I've had a lot of fun. And like I said, we'll look into some new patches too. All right, I'm gonna switch over to my PS4. And I'll definitely try to continue to answer any questions people might have while I'm playing the game. Obviously, I won't be able to pay as much attention to the stream. Oh, sorry, Ellie. Ellie is right by the PS4, and I just hit her with the cable. Hey, Pilgrim Carolee, thank you so much for joining my stream. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I agree, Squid Kid. Sometimes watching a live stream is not as easy. You have to really... I don't know. It's just that when you watch a video of someone playing a video game on YouTube, it's always edited to have the most interesting bits. But when you watch a stream, there's always gonna be slow parts, right? I don't think you can see my cat. Nope. I tried to get a shot of my cat, but she's too far over. Ellie is my cat. That's who. Why play Horizon Zero Dawn when you can play Battletoads? Because I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn yet. So Colin Markey says, "Hey Brian, quick question. What cameras do you guys use to film AA episodes?" So it's actually in the description. I think this is updated. We have Panasonic GH5S and a Sony A7 III, and I think we also have a Panasonic GH5. Have a good night, Lindsay. All right, let's get started with this. Oh, it's, yeah. Actually, I think we just have smooth hands. I think we do some zooms and post edit too.
What's that now? Don't like the cold? Can't stand today. We have a ritual to perform, you and I.
Can you guys hear it?
Wear this. It belonged to my daughter. Good. Today, I speak your name, girl. But will the goddess speak it back?
Kevin, actually, we used to play a lot of Battlefield back in the day. Too quiet?
Normally, it would be the mother who declares.
I turned it up.
If you had one. The whole village would attend, and matriarchs perform the ritual. But we are outcasts. Even so, we keep the tribe's rituals. Otherwise, we might become like
Bad
the
Company 2 was
faithless
actually
old
the
ones
battlefield I started
who
on.
turned their backs on the goddess.
Played a lot of that, and then played a lot of
Their
Battlefield 3.
wickedness doomed them.
Played a decent amount of Battlefield 4,
To us,
but then people started dropping off and stopped playing.
splendors
So
of creation,
it's just not as fun if you don't have a
Beasts of air,
squad of people to play with.
water, earth, and steel. It is one thing to hunt a beast, another to hunt a machine. You must be humble and respect their power. I will teach you this one day. High Matriarch Tirsa. What is she doing here? Does she mean to forbid the ritual?
No, 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 off your knees. It's nearly time. And yes, you may speak to me.
You came to bless the naming,
Have not 6 months gone by since we entrusted her to you?
but we are outcasts.
You by choice, and she, well... I am a High Matriarch, Rost. I bless whom I choose.
Then you honor us.
Yes, yes, now go, and be ready to declare. Go!
Make myself a little more comfortable now.
Oh, Mother,
Kayla Williams,
this
it's your
child
birthday.
needs a
Happy
name
birthday.
by which to know her.
Technically,
Let
tomorrow's my
your love
birthday,
may
the
warm
27th.
her life
So
as the rising sun
I don't know
warms
if it's
all
exactly
the
the
earth.
same.
Speak her name! And so her name is blessed.
Stop this at once! What have you done?
I've blessed the naming of a child.
Stubborn woman, you call that curse a child? What did she tell you about his birth, outcast? Answer!
I've done only what you asked.
To raise it, yes. We said nothing of love.
Enough.
And you, blessing its name like it was one
I
of the
know
Nora,
my duty
one of
to
the
them.
tribe.
And to you.
Without consultation.
I'm here.
Did all year, did
And wherever you go, I will follow.
That is correct, Jason. Have a good night, Steven. Ooh, okay. Well, gotta go to the settings first, of course. Make sure these controls work for me. Can I change these? I don't they don't ever let you change controls in video games enough. Squid Kid, yeah, this game actually came out very early in PS4's life, and the graphics are exceptional.
Oh, that's a lot of berries. You're quite the gatherer, aren't you, little Bast? Now go and see if you can find some more, hmm? Well done, that's a good boy.
I don't know if the Switch has
Children,
Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't
come
heard
with
of that.
me. She's an outcast, to be shunned.
That's so random. Like she was there the whole time with you guys. Now you just decide to shun her.
Oh, come on.
Don Wu, this is Horizon Zero Dawn. Thanks, Corey. Thanks for dropping in on the stream.
Rost! Down here! Rost! Rost! He won't hear me. Some kind of cave? Looks tight, but I can get
You're
through.
a tiny kid. Of course you can get through it.
This must be a ruin of the metal world. One of the old places.
So, if you don't know what the premise of the game is, I think it's like... I mean, I know it's post-apocalyptic, but, like... So, some technology has remained, but a lot of technology is lost. So they're sort of living, like... sort of prehistoric style? Well, not prehistoric, but... very early, like, hunter-gatherer style. Alex... Taro, thank you so much for birthday wishes. Thanks for joining in, man. I always get a little self-conscious when I play video games for people, like on stream, because I don't want to like turn the camera around really jerky and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like trying to be smooth with the camera is just impractical when you're playing a game. So if it's too much of an issue,
Ross said never
me
go
know.
in places like this. But I have to find a way out.
I actually had issues with when sometimes when I watch people play video games, I get motion sickness if they're really like jerky and sudden with the movements of the camera. This is kind of rough too, actually. What am I supposed to do? I'll go into cave. I'm also one of those people who has to like look at every inch of something so I don't miss something. Like, can't go up the stairs, have to go over here and see if there's anything off to the side. Taro, Robbie said he was gonna get some pizza, but he had forgotten, I already had dinner, so he didn't have the pizza. So I'll just have to do a separate pizza stream. Barb, thanks for joining the stream. Have a good night.
There's something up ahead. What's that? A dead person. There's something shiny there.
Have a good night, Xinxian. Yo Ma, thanks for joining the stream, man. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Found a Bluetooth headset. Thanks for joining, Winslow. Have a good night, man. So, I already ate my pizza. I still have a couple pieces, but I had a... Oops, sorry about that. But I had sausage pizza. Nothing fancy. Monster Hunter and Breath of the Wild rolled into one. So yeah, that tells me I'm probably gonna enjoy this since I like Monster Hunter and I like Breath of the Wild. Find a way out.
A metal door. Closed. Maybe this device I found can help.
Use the device to scan the room. What am I supposed to do?
Changed color.
Oh, Michael Pay, $4.99. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for answering all of our questions and genuinely being a wholesome human being. Have a great birthday. Well, thank you so much. And thank you so much for all of you guys being wholesome human beings and just coming to enjoy the stream and chatting with me. Squid Kid, you decided to do your homework while I watch the stream, so I'll be around for a while longer. Awesome. Good to have you here. Don't get too distracted though. But see, that's the thing, is like I feel like that's what people enjoy the Twitch streams for, is they like to kind of put it on in the background, occasionally participate in the chat. That's how I see it, at least. This kid's running animation. Yeah, I know. Brian, quick question. If you streamed Mass Effect 3, I would watch it all day. Oh, I'll definitely think about that. I mean, I've always heard good things about Mass Effect 3. Honestly, one of the reasons I don't play single-player games a lot is just because I've found it harder and harder to just get absorbed into the game.
It's got a device. Like the
But it
one
is
I
fun to
found.
play them when you've got people to interact with.
You think
quiet this way?
Oh,
It's the best I
Alex,
can
Brian,
do.
quick question. What's your
Right
favorite
behind
drink,
you.
alcoholic or not?
Hi! Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
I like,
Look, Daddy can't be there with you and Mom, but
I can
we
never
can still
remember
have
the
a
name.
party, right? Sure we can.
Show me. Show me again.
Let me look up that name.
Right behind you.
I can't remember this.
Hi! Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man. Look, Daddy can't be there with you and Mom, but we can still have a party, right? Sure we can.
Happy
Moscow
birthday,
Mule.
Isaac.
I like Moscow
Daddy
Mules.
sure does love his little big man.
Has quarantine changed your birthday plans? Yeah. What would you have done to celebrate your big day? Well, I don't think it changed our plans, so to speak. I still would have had dinner with my family. I think what would have changed is just that we maybe would have had like a bit more to like eat or prepare and stuff. Like we had pizza and we had a few home cooked things. I probably would have like tried to maybe barbecue something. That would have been fun. And I didn't really have like a. My mom made a cake, but I didn't have like a birthday cake or anything like that. Like a birthday cake from the store.
Well, happy New Year.
Taro
dear
says,
diary.
or donates $9.99. Says, been watching you guys for a while. Glad we get the chance to live
Well,
chat.
we did.
Thanks so much, man.
Kind of. Director Evans invited everyone to gather in the community room.
No name, your
From the
message
Where's
keeps
Got the
getting
Party
retracted,
hats,
so
that
I
was
don't know
a
if you're trying to
good
say
touch.
something.
So there we sit watching the clock tick down to midnight, and I'm thinking, am I the only one who gets the symbolism of this? It might have been worth it if Skylar had gotten drunk again, but I seem to be a mistake she doesn't want to repeat.
I would really like a ice cream cake, though. My favorite ice cream cake is the mint chocolate chip cake from Grader's. Oh, this is gruesome. This thing. That's just a little voice log. Okay, I'm not gonna waste too much time on these voice logs. I'm on the quiet side now. Okay, let me adjust it a little bit. I'm kind of leaning back, so maybe that's a little bit better. Post-quarantine party. Well, I think the plan is to kind of maybe. So we didn't really get to do much for Mother's
Why
Day,
did they die here?
and Father's Day is coming up.
What
So
happened
maybe
to
we'll
them?
like kind of do all of them in one thing when things open up a little bit more.
He found me. Ross found me. Down here. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Mother be praised. Come, girl. Take my hand. You don't belong down there. Come. Such places are forbidden, Aloy.
I fell in.
They are of the metal world.
Any plan for the next Campfire Chronicle?
What is that on your face?
Nothing.
No, not yet. We actually should
Did you
discuss
find it
that
down there.
because we did say that we were trying to
Give it to me.
bring that back.
No.
Aloy,
Maybe we could actually have
Such
a
things are
Campfire
dangerous.
Chronicles kind of
No!
talking about how the quarantine has kind of changed things for us.
sneaking away from home. You'll need to know how to survive in the wild. Come, Aloy. Home now. But starting tomorrow, you will learn to hunt.
Have to jump off? Alright, SW, thanks for joining, man. Have a good night.
All these shapes. What do they mean?
Take your bow.
Bow?
And enough muttering to that plaything. We descend to the valley now. Follow. The wilds can be dangerous, Aloy. You will need to stay close and do as I say.
I know.
Now, you're still scratched up from that fall you took yesterday. So let's start there. Take this medicine pouch. I'll show you how to fill it. See this plant over here? It's called salve brush. Come, gather its berries in your pouch. Good. Now eat the berries. They may taste bitter, but they can save your life. Always keep your pouch full of medicinal berries, flowers, and plants.
Where are we?
This valley is just a part of All Mother's embrace.
And we're...
Taro asks, did I play
The Nord
Monster
tribe
Hunter
watches
World
these
Iceborne?
lands and keeps
Yes,
out
I
the most
did.
dangerous
I have a
machines.
lot of hours in Monster Hunter. Some of it is just idling, not doing anything, but it's still a ridiculous amount of hours.
Further downriver, we'll find a herd of machines, and I will teach you how to hunt.
Are they dangerous?
All machines are dangerous, Aloy. Their power must be respected. But I will be beside you.
Oops.
Aloy,
How do I
the
crouch?
machine's coming. Crouch and follow me into the tall grass.
Square.
There. Now stay low.
Little one.
No, Aloy.
Hey Ray,
Such
thanks so much for the
machines are
birthday
called
wishes.
watchers.
Thanks for joining.
You must learn to avoid their gaze. If you are to survive in the wilds, I will show you. Listen close and do as I do. Stay still. Wait for it to pass. Now keep low and follow me across the trail to that tall grass. Oh, another one. Let it pass. Come, back this way.
I'm actually kind of interested to find
The
out
slower
like,
you move,
what,
the quieter you'll be.
like,
Crouched
did
walking
these
is quieter than upright.
robot animals like evolve? Like, are they like so advanced that they evolved or something?
Wait for it.
Ooh, Korean
That's the
barbecue? Yeah,
last of
that
them.
sounds like a good
Let's
idea.
move on.
I might have to do that. Thanks, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Thanks for the birthday wishes.
You did well. They didn't see or hear you. Now stay close. That
This is
herd
just
should
like
be just
Skyrim.
ahead.
Who's that?
Ignore him.
But why's he up there? He's smiling at us.
Deb! Get back where you belong! Deb! Where are you?
Ignore him. We are outcasts, and he is of the tribe.
Maybe he doesn't like the tribe.
And he is a fool. Come now. Let's find that herd. Follow.
Sheltonism, thank you so much. Yeah, did this come out? This came out the same year as Breath of the Wild, right? It was between this and Breath of the Wild.
There. See them? These are called striders. Ha! Get!
Why'd you chase them off?
To show you how some machines startle easily if they detect you and run away. They're best approached by stealth. Don't worry. We'll catch up with them further down the valley. You'll see.
Do I play any multiplayer games?
Now, I want you to find some rocks that fit the cup of your hand.
Why?
Do as I say, Aloy, and gather the rocks.
I play pretty
I'll
much
show you how to use
exclusively multiplayer
Good.
games.
That's it.
I play, like right now, I'm mostly playing.
Those will do. Follow.
So I've played The Division, Destiny, Borderlands 3, and Monster Hunter are the big ones right now, I guess. Les Bird, thanks for joining, man. You should take a real-time 2-day camping trip in this game or some other reasonable game.
Stop
Something
wasting
with great
time.
scenery. That would be cool, honestly.
There's the herd. All right. It's time
I heard
to
there was
throw
some
rocks.
VR game
But
or something that
rocks
we
can't hurt machines,
needed
right?
to check out.
No, but they can distract them, draw them into traps. Like that watcher over there.
Rachel, have a good
He must be
night.
dealt with, or we'll
Thanks for
warn the
joining,
herd
and thanks
send
for
them
the
running
birthday
before we
wishes.
get in range.
Warn them. How?
The machines speak to each other, Aloy.
Will Rogers says,
Unless
I
they're
miss
first
Anthem. Game was
silenced.
crazy fun for
Now
what
you stay here on the ridge. On my signal, throw rocks and draw the watcher over to me.
Yeah, Anthem
Wait for my signal.
was really fun, actually. It's just... hold on 1 second.
Aloy, throw a rock near me.
Oh, I'm supposed to hold it. Oh. Okay, so... I'm gonna have to switch this, because I can't aim at the same time. But yeah, Anthem was actually really fun. It's just the game was so incomplete and not
There.
polished.
Come, girl, it's safe now.
Oops.
Harvest a kill so I can teach you how to make arrows. Good. Now, gather stalks of ridgewood from the plants over there.
Throw like a little kid. Go camping in the long dark. Hope a bear doesn't wake up. That sounds interesting. Is that like a... But is that a scary game? Aaron Jones, I'm taking today off for my birthday, actually. I just figured I'd take an extra long weekend. What am I supposed to do? Gather ridgewood.
Use the stalks as arrow shafts, and metal shards for arrowheads. Good. You'll never run out of arrows if you know how to craft what you need. Let's
It's a
put those
survival
arrows to
game
use.
set in the
Follow.
Canadian wilderness, so that sounds awesome. That might be the one that we got mentioned, actually, at one point. Does it have multiplayer?
Here, stay low in the grass and be quiet. It is time to make your first kill, Aloy. Strider, one of the weaker machines, but even a weak machine can kill a hunter if she's careless. You must study the prey. Its hide is thick, but there are spots where it is vulnerable, like its eye. Can you guess another?
The canister on its back. Is that a weakness?
Ships? How did you guess that?
The device. It showed me.
That plaything? Stop playing games. Again! Hit! Keep firing! You did well today, but you have much to learn. Tomorrow, we train again. What was that?
That boy. The one running the brave trails.
Follow Aloy, quick!
Where'd you go? Mahit Kumar, thanks for joining, man. How you doing? Well, still, that sounds pretty cool. I'll have to check it out, The Long Dark. If you guys would be interested in watching me stream that, I would totally be down to do that. It's that boy. Gotta love these long sequences where you just follow someone. All right, Kevin. Have a good night, man.
Find that boy and kick him to death. But if I shoot, it'll cause a stampede, and it will trample him.
But I can see the paths they take.
Stop telling stories.
I'm not. I can sneak through.
You will not.
If I can watch Thomas stream RDR2, I can watch anything.
Do this slowly and quietly.
It's interesting. Stream 24 hours of Super Hot. Jake Wilson, thanks for joining, man. Good to see you.
Can't let them see me.
Just gonna gather some Bridgewood while I'm hiding. Alright, that the same one? So I think.
Got to be careful.
Is there anything? Can't really see its path. I think I can make a run for it. Now?
I need to see their paths. Almost there.
Hey, Alexander, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for the birthday wishes.
There he is. Hey,
What? How is this?
shh. Follow me.
How do you know to avoid them?
Good Simpsons reference. They make these games look almost real, yeah.
How are you doing this?
I own this game, played 1 hour of it. Is it worth going back and beating? I mean, I've always heard good things about it. So I would say yes. Literally binge watched all of your adventures. Well, thanks so much, man. Thanks for the birthday wishes.
So, it is no plaything.
Wait. Oh, Mother, bless that girl. Bless you both.
Boy!
She saved me. I just wanted...
Boy! Seal your lips.
They are outcasts, both. And she is motherless. Come now. Back to Mother's heart. And you.
That boy should not have spoken to us. It's against tribal law. We'll go home now. Follow.
Happy birthday, Quack. Thanks, man.
I know the way.
What am I watching these days? I'm watching a lot of, I'm like rewatching a lot of things, so, things like The Office, I'm rewatching Community, too. That's a good TV show, I like that one.
Stay away, no mother. Ooh.
Okay, kitty, come on. What's the name of this game? This game is called Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh god, I didn't realize I had to do choices. Let's knock the rock from his hand. Oh yeah, look at that skill.
Hey! Children, away from there! Back to picking berries!
You're bleeding. Let me have a look. Here, hold still. I'll get it.
Why? Why am I an outcast?
Aloy, this is not the time.
Who was my mother?
Aloy, I've told you before, that's not for us to know. You were just a newborn when the matriarchs brought you to me.
So the matriarchs, they know?
It's not so simple.
But they know.
Aloy, we are outcasts.
So how do I make them tell me?
The matriarchs? There is a way, perhaps.
So tell me.
It would be dangerous.
How?
It would take years of training.
I don't care. How do I do it? Tell me.
The proving. The tribe's rite of passage held every year. Those who pass become braves. But to the one who wins, the matriarchs grant a boon.
A boon?
Yes, whatever the winner wants.
Then I'll do it. Whatever it takes.
Caps outdoors. Have a good night, man. Or have a
I'll
good
prove it.
morning. No, have a good night. You got work in the morning. See you later. You too, Taro. Thanks for
Let's
joining,
get
man.
started then. Your training will be hard, and it will take years.
Start training? Yes. Follow.
Training montage. Techno Viking Naruto. Oh, that was a cool transition. Hey, Wandermath, how you doing?
Rost? days before the proving and he goes off without me? He wouldn't do that.
Apparently you're a gear hoarder. Yeah. There are times where I like to look at gear. But I think in terms of camping gear, I'm less drawn to actually want to purchase them, but I do like looking at them. Can I have my arrow back? No? Okay.
He said we'd go hunting this morning. Why isn't he here? Where's he gone to?
What I want to know is, what are these people eating? If there's just mechanical robots everywhere, are they just eating veggies?
What's he doing up there? He's just standing there. What's going on with him?
Aloy, you're here.
Hey, Sir JM Mac. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for the birthday wishes.
Did you want to be alone?
No. We must speak. I've been thinking about your training, Aloy. You've learned to hunt, learned to survive. But I fear there's a lesson I failed to teach you. Would you learn it now?
Of course. I'll always learn what you have to teach.
There has been some trouble recently. It affords an opportunity to learn this lesson, but it will be dangerous. You must come prepared, or you will die. Descend into the Embrace and hunt until you have gathered the parts for fire arrows.
Fire arrows? What kind of trouble are we talking about?
Once you have the parts, you will meet me there, at the gate beyond the village of Mother's Heart.
The North Gate? At the edge of the Embrace?
Yes. Now be on your way.
Is something else bothering you?
No, I'm fine.
Are you worrying about what happens after the proving?
What happens is clear. You will be accepted as one of the tribe, and I will still be an outcast. To be shunned.
Rost, even if the tribe accepts me, I won't...
There is much to do, Aloy. We will discuss this later.
Okay. Anything else you want me to do while I'm down in the Embrace?
Odd Grotto might be out of food by now. You could hunt a week's worth of meat for her, if you
There is
find
meat.
time.
Wouldn't mind if she'd say thanks.
I guess she
this
was
once.
shooting at rabbits earlier.
Grotto follows the law. Her science towards us is honorable, not an insult.
If you say so. I'll go gather the parts, but I'm also going to pay Karst a visit.
Aloy, that man breaks the law every time he speaks to you.
And I'm glad he does. I want to buy a tripcaster, and no other trader will sell to outcasts.
Stock it with ammunition, then. You'll find use for that weapon tonight.
That sounds ominous. All right. See you at the North Gate.
I go down here.
Something's really bothering him. If he thinks I'm gonna abandon him, he's wrong.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess like the robots are just part of the
Nice.
ecosystem, but not
My
all of
whole
it.
life, I've never gone beyond this valley. That'll change after the proving. 2 days. 2 days until I get answers. 2 days, and I'll know who she was. And why I was cast out at birth. As if there could be an excuse for that. Alright. Time to gather the parts for some fire arrows. I should find a herd.
Who are you?
High Matriarch Lansra was right.
Mother's
about her.
heart.
She doesn't have any
2
respect
more
for the
days,
tribe's laws.
and I'll know what it's like in there. It's so many people crammed into one place. I guess no one ever gets lonely in there.
Where am I supposed to go? This way, probably. I have no idea if this is where I was supposed to go, but I'm Skyrimming it. Now it wants me to go up there? Come on. Why did it make me go all the way down there, only just to ask me to go all the way back up here? Alexander, have a good one, man. Thank you again.
You did not speak it back. You kept it close to your heart.
Hello, Grata.
Oh, Mother, since I was cast out, have I not been constant as the river flows? Have I not kept the vows as the stones do? Show me your grace, oh Mother, and provide for me once more.
Don't worry, Grata. I'll hunt your rabbits.
Oh, Mother, I hear your voice on the wind. I would count your blessings on my prayer beads, but I lost them atop the eastern overlook. My old bones are too worn to return.
So it's rabbits and your trinket you need this time. Okay, I'll find you at your camp.
Oh, so I already gathered some meat. That's good.
Look out below!
I might just have to use my normal controls because I can't aim a bow. Oh my god, there's so much to this game. 5% damage coil. Okay, that's a melee attack. How do I craft again? Ah, crud. I thought I saw a fox or something. Oh, there it is.
Okay, Grata said her prayer beads were at the eastern overlook. It's not far from here.
I think what I'll do is I'll finish this side quest, guys, and then I think I'll call it a night. I feel like this game is gonna take a while for me to kind of get into it and understand what's going on.
Trail up the rocks is close by.
Okay. The melee feels easier. Oh! This is like Monster Hunter.
Grata may be devout, but it takes strong arms to reach the overlook the fast way.
I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. What did I do? What did I do? I think I'm screwed. Oh no. Okay. There we go. See you, Aaron Jones. Okay. Assassin's Creed style, huh?
Here comes the rain.
All right.
This looks promising. Aha! Grata's prayer beads. I see why she comes up here to pray. It looks out to Mother's Gate. You know, I wonder what bothers me more. That she ignores me, or that with all her talking to All-Mother, she's never lonely.
This is pretty cool. I can see enjoying this game. It really does kind of give me that adventure feel. Like, I kind of want to go wander off and look in the corners of areas. Can I use this propel now? Okay. Easy there, Aloy.
Easy, easy.
I don't remember how to craft quickly. Oh, there it is. Jeez, a brown recluse? Man. That's like my nightmare. Actually, one time I was... Oops. One time I was getting ready for bed. I was using my computer in my bed, my laptop, and I just saw a spider crawling across my keyboard, like in the... from the glow of the screen, and it freaked out.
I need to speak to you. Please. No one else will help me.
You don't...
I'm injured. I need your help.
That would explain why you're lying here in the rain.
You want to talk to an outcast?
I'm desperate for help. Whatever the consequences.
What's the problem then? Trouble with your leg?
Forget about me. It's my daughter, Arana. She's in danger.
Alpha,
She
this
went
is
after a
Horizon
scrap
Zero
in my
Dawn.
mother's cradle.
The Will
I fear for
Rogers,
her
have a
life.
good night, man.
I can't even stand up, let alone go after her. Will you help me find her?
Why would your daughter hunt a scrapper on her own?
It's my fault. I went after it first and it tore up my leg. I barely got away and I left a spear impaled in the machine. That spear was made by Adina, my mate, who died last year. It means everything to Arana. She went after the scrapper to get it back.
I'll do what I can to help your daughter.
Make sure she's all right. I'm begging you.
goes Grata, all alone with Allmother, the only way she knows. Good news, Grata. Once again, Allmother has brought you rabbits. I found your prayer beads too. Just try not to lose them again.
All-Mother. Each morning I find your tears of joy speckling the leaves. Joy at the beauty of all you have made. See how I cry now with you in gratitude.
So you'll cry for her, but you won't speak to me. Fine. Guess that makes you the better outcast. Grata, I may not be around much for a while. I'm gonna run in the proving, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen after that.
All-Mother, I thank you for the kindnesses you share. When the proving comes, in your great wisdom, may you give favor to a brave of generous heart.
I think I get what you're saying. Goodbye, Grata. For now.
All-Mother, hear me as I count off my years of devotion.
At least pray under your shelter. Alrighty, I need to find a safe spot, and then I will call it a night, guys.
Going down fast.
Let's see. I have no idea where I'm going. I'm probably going the complete wrong way.
Scrappers are here to collect some salvage.
Let's see. Save point. There it is. Am I not collecting this?
Rob! It's your sister, Alara!
Ooh, ouch. Okay, I should probably run.
Are you out there?
Oh. Won't go down without a fight. Alright, guys. Oops. I'm gonna end it here, so I hope everyone has a good night. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next time. Yeah, she does look like a wildling. Alright, guys, I'll catch you next time.